and thanks for filling us up every time. It's cool. So I'm really excited. Thanks everyone for being here. We're just gonna go right away and hop on into introductions. So everyone just give us a quick little 30-second intro, who you are, who you work with, what you do. Peyton, do you wanna start us off?
Sure, thank you, and thanks for having me. Hi everyone, I'm Peyton Marek, and I'm a partner and manager at Room 64. So I look after clients, AWOLNATION, Iron Tom, the Greeting Committee, The Haunt, and some developing artists that we're working on. And I also work with a photographer. Her name is Elizabeth Miranda.
Awesome. Okay, Joy, you're up.
What's up, y'all? So my name is Joy Young. I am currently on the management team at Wonderland. I've been at Wonderland for 5 years now. Our talent roster includes Janelle Monáe, Jadena, Saint Beauty. We work with some developing artists by the name of Josh Dean. We're also opening up the ecosystem to sign. So we are looking for like-minded creatives to join our Wonderland family, just FYI. Yeah, we have a series of companies. We have a TV and film company called Wonderland Pictures. We have a record label called Wonderland Records. And we also have a philanthropy arm that we haven't necessarily named yet, but we've been, since COVID popped off, I've been co-organizing Wonder Lunch, and we fed 25,000 people so far across 2 cities, Atlanta. That's something that I've been really passionate about these last 3 or 4 months. So yeah, and I also own my own management company called Playtime Talent Group, where I manage an R&B group by the name of Hamilton Park.
Awesome, Joy. Okay, Melody, you're up.
Hi guys, I'm Melody. I'm from Toronto. I have my own management company, M3, which I launched this year. I am also a co-manager and road manager for 88 Glam. They're a hip-hop duo comprised of 2 members, Derek Wise and 88 Camino. I've been working with them for the last 4 or 5 years, and they've just kind of been my baby. I'm also Lamar Taylor's assistant, who is the creative director for The Weeknd and EXO Records. He's also the founder of House, which is a creative incubator based in Toronto, which welcomes and develops different creatives from different disciplines. And I also work on the House team, so I basically help project manage their events, their panels, and their workshops.
That's awesome, Melody. Love that, Toronto. Olivia, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, oh my God, he's a genius, the Weeknd's creative director. I love his work. Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm from Long Island. I live in LA, but I'm back home with my family right now. I work at Maverick Management, so I work under Adam Lieber, who's a partner, and he manages Miley Cyrus, Noah Cyrus, Labyrinth, and Lil Nas X, but I kind of work solely on the Miley project, but help out with our other clients. But Miley's my girl. I started a fan account, so I started working with her at 16 years old, and she basically pulled me out of New York to join the management team. So I've been with her for about like 7 years now. And I have some other side clients I work with in terms of strategy, social media consulting, and I consult for some brands, but main full-time job is with Maverick.
Amazing. That's awesome. Malita, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm CEO and founder of Mogul Mentality. I manage 13 producers, Grammy-winning, multi-platinum, from OG Parker to Young Land, Nonstop. I mean, it's a lot of them. I don't even want to miss out anyone. I started off managing, like working with the Migos. I had Ski Master, Slum God, Rick Ross. I did the branding for Bel Air Rose. And I casted like a bunch of videos formerly. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Awesome. I'm loving all the entrepreneurship here. So Jocelyn, you can go ahead.
Hey, so my name is Jocelyn. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I currently manage artists Don Q, Sheff G, Sleepy Hallow, and then a smaller group by name of Gangtivity. I'm actually moving into more of a consultant role with Sheff and Sleepy. Just wanted to change things up, and I'm actually about to work with an Afrobeats artist. I'm going to release that information soon. He's super big in Nigeria. Yeah, just wanted to switch it up.
Nice. That's amazing, Jocelyn. So
Yeah.
I think we have a great mix of big companies, entrepreneurship, a lot of ladies doing their own thing. That's amazing. So everybody, our next question is, what is a career move that you've made lately that you're proud of? And you can all just jump into this one.
I'll start. So Recently, I've decided to write a book. And I've had book notes on my phone for like 5 years, and I never felt that I was ready to write a book, or that I had like a very concrete message. And thank God for COVID. It gave me the time to sit and think and be with myself and really pull those ideas together. So the preface in chapter 1 is done. I'm currently in chapter 2. There's 15 chapters. So I feel like that's gonna just catapult me into another level of my career as a thought leader. So that's what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll basically follow up. I was like, when you said career movement, like with my clients or me, and I was trying to think, but you know, I decided in the beginning of quarantine, I realized I had a lot of thoughts and emotions, and you know, obviously working with someone, you know, that's really massive and uses her platform for good and really cares about her platform. Me and Miley had launched Bright Minded on her Instagram, and I kind of was like, well, there's a pandemic and there's a lot of things happening. I had a lot of thoughts and emotions, and I'm like, I don't know where to get those out. Should I go on panels? Should I be, you know, talking to more people? And I just decided to start recording a podcast, which I don't really plan on publishing, but more sharing with people that just need some sort of inspiration, because it's a lot about, you know, being productive, being positive, learning new things about yourself during such a weird time, and you know, just sharing it with really anybody. It's on Dropbox. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy with it. So that for me was really, I guess, therapeutic, and also holds me accountable to check in with myself even when it is crazy. So that's been a really big thing for me.
That's amazing.
I guess I can go next. So I just posted about it today. Sheff G and Sleepy Hollow just got signed to RCA, so that was super cool. Because you know, needed some support. There was a lot going on working with them and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was super great, and now they have like a bigger team to work with and stuff like that. So I'm actually moving on to work with the music app. Basically, the premise of the app is for like newer artists to kind of get opportunities to basically kind of bid for different cool things. So I don't know if you guys heard of Hot 97's Who's Next, or any of the kind of stuff that they've been doing, but it's basically that whole concept, but on an actual app. So I'm booking tons of artists to do features and prizes and challenges, and it's been really, it's been a better I guess experience for me, because you know, moving out from the management side and working with the managers to coordinate working with this app. So that's been like really fun for me, and it's actually a huge project. So I'm able to pay my staff now, and like, you know, full time and everything like that. So it's been really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. You're building.
I can jump in. A really big career move for me was launching my own management company, M3. Quarantine was obviously a weird time, but I think it was just a great time to kind of sit down and reflect. And I'm also a road manager, so obviously there's no touring going on right now, and that gave me a lot of time to finally like sit down and really put this plan together. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be working on artist development, artist management, and writing grants. So a really fortunate thing about Canada is they actually give out millions of dollars to Canadian artists. It's free funding. You just have to really know how to go about it and apply. And they basically will offer budgets for music videos, sound recordings, marketing, any type of initiative. There is money there. It's just, I think people don't really know about it or know how to apply. So that's actually how I started in the industry. I was a grant writer, and from there I transitioned into artist management. So I'm really excited to do that. And I'm working with a couple new artists, and I'm working on developing them. One of them is a singer-songwriter. Her name is Memes, and she is a Muslim woman breaking some barriers with her art. And I'm really excited for her to drop her new project. And another R&B artist from New York, his name is Time, and a rapper from New York, Vin the Wave. And they're all pretty much getting ready to drop a project. So I'm excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, in my career, I guess a move that I've made recently that I'm very excited about. At the start of the pandemic, I began working with one of my good friends and photographer, videographer. Her name is Elizabeth Miranda. And it's nice because, you know, all of us probably on here have, dealt with photo agreements and labels and figuring out photo shoots and video shoots. And it's really opened my eyes to how screwed over photographers and videographers can be. And so, trying to find something that's mutually beneficial for the artist and for the photographer or videographer in this case. So she shot Sam Smith and Demi Lovato, BTS, recently on their recent collaboration video together. She's done some stuff with Snapchat recently, and we're doing some really cool things with different brands and different artists. So I'm expanding my sort of network world with that. And then top of this year, I joined Room 64, which I'm really excited about. I'm working on bigger artists than I've ever worked on before, which I'm really lucky to get to do. AWOLNATION has been in the midst of an album cycle. Same with our artist, Iron Tom, very much in the alternative rock space. So, as we all are, we're figuring out how to navigate this industry. And I'm sure we'll get to that as well. But releasing an album during a pandemic when there's no touring, especially alternative rock artists, in my world specifically, where we thrive off of touring and 80% plus of our income is touring, really having to flex our brains. So yeah, it's been very creative. We're experimenting and we're just adapting to what's happening right now.
Awesome.
Well, with me, it's like 3 things. One of them, I just closed 2 deals with Sony. So now we're considering a partnership. I was consulting with Interscope, so the artist 5 a.m. who I was consulting for, his single gets released in 3 weeks, and also doing real estate. So I've been buying properties in Baltimore, which is where I'm from. So I just want to beautify my city and, kind of give back in that manner. So.
Wow, Malita, that's amazing.
You better build that wealth, girl.
Yeah, a lot of big things going on for you. I love that. Flip and tumble it. All right, so the next question we have is, what are some misconceptions that you think people have about artist managers?
I can jump in.
Yeah.
Or go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, I think a big misconception is that managers are one-dimensional. I feel like people think that artist manager does one thing, and it's, you clock in and you clock out, but this job is 24/7. You check in, and honestly, I haven't checked out in like 5 years. So it's just one of those things where you're just constantly on the go. And being a manager, it's just wearing so many different hats. You're the soundboard, you're a photographer, you're an accountant, you're a DJ, you're a therapist, you're a security guard, you're everything. Whatever that artist needs, you need to just figure it out, and you're essentially appointed to fill in that role. So it's such a bigger thing than I feel like what people think it is. And yeah, you're wearing a lot of hats and just basically making sure your artist is good no matter what the ask is.
Yeah, I would say because I assume there's a lot of people in here who are new to the business and new to artist management and are trying to get advice just coming in the game. I would say the misconception for y'all is that success happens overnight. When you're a manager and you commit to talent, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Specifically from my own experience working with Saint Beauty, they were signed to Wonderland in 2015 when I came in, and I was assigned to them as their day-to-day manager. And when they first started, they were performing in basements at vintage stores. And so over the course of 3 years of me working with them, developing them, getting press and print placements, beauty, endorsement deals, several tours. But I mean, like, even with touring, you're not getting paid. Like, these are, sometimes one-offs. And if you are on it, like the entire bill, like you're probably getting $200, $250 every show. But it's just a development, right? So when you commit to an artist, you have to understand that these artists aren't getting paid at the beginning of their careers. So, being a new artist manager, you have to diversify your hustle, right? Like, yes, you work with that artist, but you still have to make money to support yourself. And also too, if you believe in an artist and you go into a partnership with them, invest in them as well. So for the new people in the room who are considering going into artist management, just understand that it's a long-term commitment. You will see results and you will see financial results if you commit to the process, but in the beginning, like, there's no money, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, both of your answers 100% +1 to both. And someone just commented in the chat, managers are the first A&Rs, and that's very true. I think in my case, I have been managing a band called the Greeting Committee. I went to high school with them. I've been managing them for 5 years, almost over that. And we got very lucky. We signed them to Harvest Records, which, if you're not familiar, it's a subsidiary off of Capitol Records. We signed them when they were 16. I was like 17 or 18, didn't know what I was doing. You learn as you go. You wear so many hats. It is a marathon. We're 5 years in and we're making their second record, and it's still hard, like, especially in the alternative rock space, only because that's my world specifically. I mean, it's hard everywhere, but that specifically. And yeah, I mean, you're wearing hats. I started out as a tour manager and manager for the Greeting Committee, who was my first artist, and learned so much from being on the road. So yeah, I mean, I know one of the questions is probably, what is the advice you would give to people who want to be managers? And yeah, I mean, like, wear as many hats as you can, be well-versed, not just in music, but, go on tour with your artists, be well-informed in the fashion world, the film world, the publishing world, everything, because it's so important. And especially now when artists aren't touring and there's so many limited opportunities, you have to be well-educated and well-versed in what's happening around you and finding opportunities for your artists, because, as great as the label is, sometimes the label's not going to find opportunities. The publicist isn't going to find opportunities all the time. You have to do it. They rely on you 100%.
Yeah, I'd add to the learn as you go point of that, just because I think something in the music industry is I've heard from a lot of people that have reached out to me that they feel like they're not qualified for a certain position, or, like they don't know what it entails to be part of a management company. And it's like, there's no rule book. Like there's no one that you can model your career off of. And I think that's something that I'm really like, I think for a while I was struggling because I didn't have a mentor. No one above me, had the job that I had with Miley. I was a fan and created a role for myself. And that was weird for me because I was like, what is my real role? And I built it for myself. And I kind of went through a weird phase of like, well, who's my mentor if no one's path is aligning with mine? And I realized, like, we put so much emphasis on like the Scooter Braun's, like, and we're like, oh, he worked at this company and he did this, and you follow that structure. But at the end of the day, everyone has such a different path that you can't model yourself after anybody. And it really is like that, learn as you go, try new things, because you're going to pick up new things from everything. And if you have a mentality of like, oh, this internship sucks, I'm just cleaning the floors. No, you're like, listen to what the conversations you're hearing, like understand why even the smallest little tasks are going to better you, because every task is going to be, when you are a manager, you can be getting coffee one day, but also being on a call with the VMAs one day. Like it's like, that's the biggest thing that I've had to realize is like, I'm never too good to go run and get an artist coffee. And also I could be on a boss call that same time, and being okay with that, because that's what management really is. There's no like, oh, I'm too good for this. So having that mentality throughout it all will really keep you, grounded with it.
I think I would say a couple things. The first thing would be towards artists, feeling